Hey YouTube, it's Kelly K, and I'm on my daily walk. I'm walking to the spa, so I feel like it's a good little distance to talk to you guys. So what's on my mind today is how I don't trust beauty services. So I had two situations this weekend. The first didn't really have to do with me, and the second one did. So I'll start off with the one that doesn't really have to do with me. But it does a little bit. So I went to a beauty school to get a scalp treatment. My grandma told me about it. By the way, I call my grandma Mima. My Mima told me about it. And I also just needed a wash and blow dry and, straighten. So basically a silk press. So I went there for a scalp treatment and a silk press. I only go to hair schools now for silk presses, and that's every now and again. I will not go there for a cut. I will not go there for a dye. I will not go there for anything that may last a really long time, because you are not going to experiment on my head like I'm some doll. I'm not going to sacrifice myself so you can learn how to do hair. But a silk press, I feel like it's pretty low risk. So I came in the shop, and the scalp treatment they do before you get a wash. So I was sitting down doing my scalp treatment. And for the scalp treatment, they part your hair, and then they use this exfoliating brush to wipe your scalp down. And that took a while. One thing that I noticed as I was getting that done was the girl doing my hair, she was doing it a little too soft for me. And I told her, I'm not tender-headed, so you can brush, because I want to make sure that I get the full benefits. Even after I said that, she did it just as soft. So I was like, okay, whatever. Maybe she knows something that I don't. And sitting next to me was a woman who was also getting her hair done. And she had really long red hair. Her hair was down to almost her waist. And I heard her saying how it took her a really long time to grow her hair that long. And she feels the most pretty, the most beautiful when her hair is long. So she doesn't want her hair cut that short. She wants layers. So I heard her say that. So anyway, I'm getting my scalp treatment done. And then I go to the sink. They wash it out. And then they put me under the blow dryer for about 15 minutes. And then I come back to my chair, and the lady is still sitting there. So the whole wash and treatment and things, that took about 45 minutes. I was kind of surprised that she was still sitting there just for some layers. So the next thing for me was to get my hair blow dried. And I have a lot of hair, so it takes a good 45 minutes to blow dry my hair. So I'm sitting there getting my hair blow dried, and I'm happy because the girl is doing a good job. I went to another hair school the week before, and it was a teacher doing my hair. And she was obviously so lazy, because she finished quote unquote blow drying my hair in 15 minutes. Like I said, I have way too much hair. You cannot blow dry my hair in 15 minutes. And I felt that it was damp. And I told her, like, hey, can you blow dry here? It feels a little wet right here. And she did it real quick. She put a little blow dry on there real quick. And then she proceeded to flat iron my hair. I'm pretty good at speaking up about what I want with my beauty, but other times I think, okay, maybe they know something that I don't, so I just go ahead and let them do my thing. By the way, by the time I left that hair school, my press was so greasy, oily, and stiff, but I didn't really care, because I knew that I'll be sweating and working out all week anyway, so I didn't care too much, because I knew that I would just pin it up. But still, and I feel like she overcharged me. I feel like she overcharged me. At a hair school, I should be paying maybe $30, maybe $40, but she charged me $55. That's a professional fee, $55. But anyway, so back to the second hair school. So the girl, I was happy that she was blow drying my hair right. She was parting it in the sections that need to happen in order to dry all of my hair correctly. So I was happy. So it took her about 45 minutes. And as I'm getting my hair blow dried, every now and again, I would peek over to the lady next to me. and kind of look at the progress, because I was surprised once again that it was taking so long. And as I'm peeking over, I see her hair get shorter and shorter and shorter. And in my head, I'm just thinking, what is going on? Didn't she say she wants layers? Did she change her mind? You know, did she decide she wants to get a bob or something? Like, why is it? And the student doing her hair, she was cutting it very slow. Like, she was moving very slow. And I saw the girl every now and again calling over her teacher to make sure that she was cutting her hair correctly. So next, I'm getting my hair flat ironed. So that would take another 45 minutes for my hair. So I'm getting my hair flat ironed, and because the blow dryer is off, now I can hear what's happening next to me because I'm very curious. And I hear the lady say little comments like, yeah, I've been sitting in this chair since 1. It's 3 o'clock now. Ha ha ha. And every now and again she'll say, wow, that's a lot of hair on the ground. Just little remarks like that, but nothing like, hey, my hair is getting too short, y'all need to stop. But they were working on the back of her hair for a long time. So in the front, she could see that her hair was still long because they were still layering the back. And as I was looking at the back, I saw how short it was. And I'm thinking, okay, if this lady is going to get layers, that means that the front of her hair is going to have to be even shorter than the back of her hair. So I'm paying attention. And the student cutting her hair, like I said, every now and again she'll call a teacher over to make sure that she's doing it right. By the way, as many times as that girl asked that teacher to come over, that teacher should have known this girl is too inexperienced to cut layers, because she obviously doesn't know what she's doing. She keeps on calling me over here. So let me stay right here and make sure that she's doing this lady's hair right. And the teacher who was guiding her was a young woman, and she had long pink braids. And I don't know if I'm wrong about this. You know, tell me if I'm wrong. But if this girl has long pink braids, the braids were like past her butt. If this teacher has long pink braids, do you think she would empathize with a woman with naturally very long waist length hair? No, she wouldn't, because I bet underneath those braids her hair wasn't that long, because her hair looked bleached and unhealthy from what I saw, which I pay attention to. If you are a hair professional, I want to see that your hair is healthy. That's how I can trust you. So I'm looking at that, and once again the lady is saying little remarks here and there and making jokes. And just for additional context, the lady in the chair, she was a heavier set woman. So I'm pretty familiar with people like her who are insecure and they don't know how to set boundaries, and they try to play it off with humor. I'm pretty familiar with that archetype, basically. So now my hairstylist is almost done flat ironing my hair. I have been there for over 3 hours at this point, and I'm watching the lady next to me show the student and the teacher a picture of how she wants her hair to look, how she wants her bangs to look. And I'm thinking, oh girl, it's not going to look anything like that. If you wanted something like that, you should have went to a hair cuttery, because I'm looking at the back of her hair and I'm seeing how much shorter it was than it was when she walked in. And I'm watching the student cut her hair little by little. She's moving very slowly, which I personally thought was rude, because she didn't look like she cared that that lady was sitting there for so long. Now she's cutting the lady's bangs, and she cuts it crooked. So you know with layers how the front of your hair is supposed to be shorter than the back of your hair. But the way that she was cutting it, it was the opposite. So she would cut it so the front of her hair was longer than the back. Like when she was cutting the bangs, she would cut it in the opposite direction. And I'm no hairstylist, okay? But I have eyes. And I'm looking at this mess And I'm thinking she's going to have to cut her hair even shorter to even that out. So now I'm seeing more and more red hair on the ground, long red hair on the ground. And the teacher with the pink braids, she's hearing this lady make little remarks about how long she's been there and how she walked in with her hair really long and she feels like it's going to be really short now. The teacher, she's just kind of ignoring her. She's kind of brushing her off and saying, trust us, it's going to grow back. What do you mean it's going to grow back? Of course it's going to grow back, but this lady said that it took her years to grow her hair that long, and she feels the most beautiful when her hair is that long. So by the end of it, that lady walked in with hair by her waist. When she left, her hair was to her chest. It was to the middle of her chest. It looked like she walked in there for a big chop. And then it didn't even look layered. And I know that this woman is really unhappy. I know she is. I'm looking at her face and she looks sad. But then she's making a joke on top of it. Then she's looking kind of angry. But mostly she's looking really sad. And I had to tell the girl doing my hair, they cut a lot of her hair. I whispered to her, they cut a lot of her hair. And then she said, I know. She said, as soon as that woman gets in the car, she's going to call her friend and start crying. I know I would. But guess what, y'all? This woman had the nerve to tip the girl, the student, $20. So you're walking out unhappy with your hair. Your hair is literally 9 inches shorter than it was when you walked in, when you just wanted some simple layers. She wanted some simple layers just so her hair could look fuller and bouncier. But you're walking out with a big chop. Your hair is to your chest now. And this girl who is moving slow and not listening to your concerns, you're going to give her a $20 bill for a tip? And when the lady stood up to go, she was like, yeah, my hair is pretty short. When I walked in, my hair was to my waist. And then, she, tried to laugh over it. And then the teacher who was helping cut her hair, who helped facilitate that mess, was saying, look at me, trust me, your hair is going to grow back. And everyone around her, all the other teachers and students were like, oh yeah, your hair is going to grow back. I was so upset for her. You guys tell me, should I have said something? Now I feel like I should have said something to her, like, hey, they're cutting your hair really short. But I guess just like her, I was trusting the process. After 2 hours of her sitting there getting her hair cut, it was undeniable. The teacher didn't know what she was doing. And my hypothesis is that she didn't care because she's never had her hair that long. She's never had her hair down to her waist. So she can't relate to the feeling of having 9 inches of your hair cut off. She doesn't even know what that feels like. And then the student, she looks like she doesn't give a care in the world. Now she has a $20 tip in her hand. She's thinking about how she's going to go to Chili's later with that $20. And I'm sitting there getting my hair done, just so mad. And I was like, I'm definitely not getting the trim here. I'll wait. So that was one of the 2 situations that happened this week. The second one, my Mima influenced me here as well. She told me how she gets her eyebrows tinted and it helps her get ready faster in the morning. And I've never got my eyebrows tinted before, so I was thinking, okay, I'll go with you and see how yours look, and if I like it, then I'll get my eyebrows tinted too. And when my grandma was done, her eyebrows looked pretty good. But she has microblade, so her eyebrows already have a shape. The girl doing her eyebrows already had a pattern to follow. Me, I shave the ends of my eyebrows because I don't like the way my eyebrows are naturally shaped, and then I draw the rest in. So the lady, she threaded my eyebrows to clean it up a little bit, and then she was going to start tinting. I was like, wait, let me show you a picture of how I want my eyebrows to look. Because how are you just going to assume that I want my eyebrows a certain way? And with my eyebrows, because I don't have any, she would have had to start from scratch. So I show her a picture of myself. I show her a picture of myself. I want my eyebrows to look like this. She looked at it for a quick second and said, okay. I'm thinking she barely even looked at this picture, because she literally glanced at it, was like, oh, you look so pretty, and then was like, okay, you know, that's fine. But what I would have done is I would have took the phone from my hand and studied it for a good 30, 45 seconds and say, okay, I get what you mean. I get what you're saying. But no, she took a 2-second, 3-second glance and said, okay. And I'm rolling my eyes in my head because I'm like, okay, this is going to be a mess. And she starts my eyebrows, and I do my eyebrows every day. So I know what it feels like. I know what it should feel like. And I feel her doing the arch in a weird motion. I can feel that the tail of the arch is like by my eye. It's like really close to my eye. I can feel that she's doing a really sharp point. And she shows me the first eyebrow, and she said, what do you think? And I said, it's too thick. I want it thinner, like my picture. And the arch is too sharp. The arch is really square. I told her, I think you should take the tail off and just do the tail over, because this isn't right. And she said, okay. And she started cleaning it up. I feel her cleaning it up, but I don't feel her wiping that tail off. I feel her putting the tint over that tail over and over again. And then she shows me again. And I said, the tail looks exactly the same. And I didn't have an attitude. I was just really stern. And I was just really trying to explain to this woman what she was doing wrong. I said, no, the tail looks exactly the same. Can you lift the arch up higher like this picture? I want my eyebrows more rounded. It literally looked like a wide triangle, like an obtuse angle or something. I don't know why she just won't grab a wipe and wipe the tail off. Like I said, I feel her cleaning it up a little bit, and I feel her putting the tint a little bit above the tail that she had already. I can feel that it's not what I asked for. And she shows me again. Once again, I said, you should wipe off the tail completely. She said, oh, well, it's already dry. But I said earlier that I don't want the tail. So I don't know, do you have oil or something? Because I don't like this. And it's a family-owned business. So she called her aunt over for help. And I didn't trust her aunt either, because my Mima told me that she never lets her aunt do her eyebrows because she always ends up messing up some kind of way. So when the aunt walks over, I don't trust her expertise either. And she tries to do it herself, and she makes it look even worse. I'm like, oh my gosh. Finally, she wiped the tail off, and she redid the arch, and it looked good. So that was one eyebrow. It looked good. And I said, okay, that's perfect. Like, do it just like that on the other side. So she's been working for about an hour now, so I can tell that she's a little antsy to go home. So she hurries up and does my other eyebrow. And she gives me the mirror, and she says, so does this look even to you? And I said, no. This one is way thicker than the other one. And she cleans it up a little bit, and she shows me the mirror again. And my Mima comes over, and she says, okay, yeah, that looks good. And Mima, she had an appointment to go to, so. And the girl said the same thing. And I said, okay. And then Mima said, and for a tint, you know, it's just to make your eyebrows easier to do. It's easy to fix it when you're at home, and, you know, put some concealer over it and reshape it and stuff. You know, this is my first time getting my eyebrows tinted, so I'm trusting what my Mima is saying. And I'm thinking, you know, I could just fix it up real quick. I guess this is just the base, so this is fine. This was only a $21 service, so how much can I expect? And at home, I look at my face again. I look at my eyebrows again. And I'm like, okay, how did this lady not see how crooked this was? This is literally your job. Your job is to do eyebrows all day. How did you not see how crooked this was? Literally, one eyebrow was way fatter than the other. And then one eyebrow was lower than the other. I'm like, lady, how did you not see that? This is literally your job. You get paid for this. You do this full time. And you didn't see how my eyebrows weren't identical. And for the one that I felt her rushing, you could tell that she rushed it. You can tell. Like, you can look at it and see that that eyebrow was rushed. So, you know, I'm upset, but then I'm thinking, okay, this is why I don't trust these beauty specialists, and I try to do everything myself, because it seems like these beauty specialists, they're either lazy or incompetent, or they don't care. And when it comes to my beauty, I'm the creative director. I know exactly how I want to look. The way they act, you think that they hate what they do. It's like, didn't you go to school for this? Isn't beauty supposed to be your passion? Aren't you supposed to be passionate about your clients walking out beautiful and happy? And that's for nails too. I hate getting my nails done. A long time ago, I stopped getting gel nails. I stopped getting false gel nails because I noticed that at the nail salons, they don't care about the shape of your nails. I think that when you have false nails, they should shape it for at least 20 minutes to make sure that, you know, it's straight, it's nice. But then I noticed that they use these little flimsy nail filers, and they'll file it for a good 5 minutes, 6 minutes maybe, and then they go ahead and they start doing your nails. And then when you tell them, like, I don't like this shape, they try to gaslight you and say, no, that's just the shape of your nails naturally. And I always have to defend myself and say, no, it's not. I've gotten my nails done millions of times, and it has never looked like this. And then after debating about my nails, they'll finally start shaping it again, and it'll get to a point that's satisfactory for me. And then they say, oh, okay, yeah, I see what you mean. You didn't see what I meant earlier? You didn't see how crooked this one nail was? You don't see how this nail is shorter than the other one? And even for my birthday, I took myself to get a full body massage. And the person massaging me, he was doing a good job until he got to my feet. And mind you, this is timed, so I had about an hour and 30 minutes to get a massage. And the foot part is supposed to take 30 minutes. So I'm getting my feet massaged, and I'm noticing 20 minutes in that he hasn't touched my toes once. He has focused just on, you know, like the base of the foot the entire time. So I asked him, like, hey, can you massage my toes? And he just like pulls them real quick, like all of them real quick, and calls it a day. Once again, what the heck is wrong with people? Or you guys can tell me, is that normal? When you get a foot massage, do they not touch your toes? I was really upset at that. Because, like, how are you going to miss a whole 1/3 of my foot? And honestly, I should have said something else, because he was really gone for a good 7-8 minutes. I don't know what he was doing, but that took time out of my massage. So I really should have said something then. But all I did, I tipped him less. So I tipped him like 13 or 12% or something. But yeah, I'm not going to let these people gaslight me about my beauty, about my face, about my body, because I know how I want to look. I know how I should look. I know how a massage should feel. I know what a crooked nail looks like. How come they don't? These people who went to school for years, how come they can't tell the difference between identical eyebrows and uneven eyebrows? So anyway, I just had to rant about that, because I'm just tired of these people out here who aren't good at their jobs and who don't care about your looks as much as they should. Their whole purpose when they wake up in the morning is to do their job and do it well, and to make their clients happy. So anyway, tell me your guys' thoughts. Am I tripping, or have you guys been through the same thing? Tell me what you think. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.